everyone, this is Becca from Becca's Music Group. Today we're here to talk about what the heck copyright is and how you can make sure that you are doing a good job with copyright and terms of use on Teachers Pay Teachers. If you find this video helpful, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share so that other people can find it as well and so that you don't miss any future TPT videos. So I have a list right here of all my things that we're gonna do on my super fancy Erin Condren stationery. My name on it. I love it. I'll leave a link down below. Let's dive right on into it. So first off, what the heck is copyright? Copyright basically is the law that means that when you make something, it belongs to you. That's really what it boils down to. So you need to respect other people's copyrights, just like you don't want other people to take your products and sell them or take your videos and use them. You can't do that to other people either. So copyright just kind of protects you. It protects your clip art sellers. It protects your pictures. It protects all of those things. You do not want to get in trouble for copyright infringement. All right, so copyright tells you what you can and cannot do with other people's stuff. The basic rule is you can't use other people's things without their permission. And that's about the gist of it. Now, it gets a lot more complicated than that, so we will go a little more in depth. So first off, if you're going to use somebody else's stuff, you need permission. You cannot just go on Google and find random pictures and save them and put them in your products. Now, like, you know, it's one thing if you're posting it on your personal Facebook. It's totally different when you're selling something with things in it. So you have to have permission to use anybody else's stuff. So that includes pictures, that includes clip art, that includes other people's work and words and those kind of things. Everything is covered under copyright, and you do not want to use any of those things without someone's permission. So again, don't go on Google, find a random picture, save it, and use it. Not good, not good. So on Teachers Pay Teachers, the way that you know you have permission to use someone's things, you look for the magic words, for commercial use. For commercial use means that you can use something and then you can sell it. If it says for private use, that means you can only use it for yourself or for your classroom. You cannot sell it, you cannot put it on the internet, none of that kind of stuff. So you're looking for commercial use. For things that are not on Teachers Pay Teachers, like if you want photos, then you need to look for stock photos. Don't just go on Google and find a random picture. You're going to need stock photos. So when I need a stock photo, you know what I do? Honestly, I go to Google and I type in the search bar, free stock photos of whatever I need. And that's how I get most of mine. So places that I have found really good success with stock photos, some of them are free, some of them you do have to pay for because again, it's somebody else's work, include Canva. Canva is my number one. It's the bomb. That's where I make all of my graphics, all my thumbnails, all of my Pinterest pins, everything. It's free. Now, some of their pictures you do have to pay for, but a lot of them are free. So it just kind of depends on how specific of a thing you're looking for. I will leave a link. I actually always leave a link to Canva down below and you can sign up for free. I use it for free. I don't pay for anything. And so you can make your own graphics. You can also use their clip art. You can use their pictures, all that kind of stuff. Other places include Pexels, Unsplash, and Pixabay. Those are kind of the three that I've had the most luck with finding a good variety of pictures for pretty cheap. Again, sometimes you have to pay for them. It just kind of depends on what site you're on and whose it is and just all those kind of things. So those are all places that you can get stock photos. Stock photos are just photos that you can use for whatever. Another way you can get stock photos is to make your own. So every once in a while I will take my camera and have like a little mini photo shoot with myself or with some stuff or with my products or with instruments. I'll do it in my classroom. Sometimes I'll take my camera into my classroom and I just take pictures of a bunch of instruments and things like that that I might need, and I don't necessarily need it right now, but I might need it one day. And that's a good way to know that I have the copyright because it's fine. Do read all of the terms and conditions for all of those things because they might say what you can and cannot use them for. So do be aware of that. So how do you know if you have permission? You're looking for the terms of use. So on all of those websites, those should be pretty easy to find when you're downloading something. On Teachers Pay Teachers, it also should be pretty easy to find if the seller did what they're supposed to. Most clip art sellers that I have found, because I mostly buy clip art, so that's why I'm talking about clip art, usually put the file in the clip art file. So there should be something that says TOU or terms of use, and it will tell you these things are okay, these things are not. Some clip art artists put it actually in the description of their TPT product. Some do both. Some of them you have to go to their store and like download. Sometimes it's like their free download that tells you what you can do. If you're a clip art artist, please don't do that because it's a pain in the butt. Like, include it in the actual file because otherwise I'm not gonna find it and I might just never use your stuff. So those are things. Now, if you cannot find it those places, you can always message the seller or leave a question on their products, because again, you know, because think if you are like brand new to Teachers Pay Teachers, if someone, and you don't know what you're doing, if someone's a brand new clip art artist for Teachers Pay Teachers and they don't know what they're doing, they might not either. Typically, now of course read the terms of use, but typically what I find is they usually say things like, you are able to use this clip art to make your own products. You cannot sell this clip art as your own because it doesn't belong to you. And usually they will have something where you need to acknowledge the store. So that's kind of where things get tricky and where you want to read. Some people are fine with you just putting their little button somewhere. Other people want a link to their store. They might say something like you need to flatten the images. I talk about that a lot when we do like product making tutorials, how you can't just have people's clip art free floating because that's a copyright violation. That's actually how we got to this video because lots of people asked me questions about that on our Google Slides tutorial. Now, when it comes to terms of use, you also need a terms of use, even if you're not making clip art or any of that kind of stuff. But if you're making products, you need a terms of use. That means people need to know what is okay and what is not okay for your things. So typically my terms of use, and y'all, I just copy and paste it on all of them. My terms of use say things like, you cannot sell this, you do not have permission for that, do not place it on the internet for free because it's mine, it's not yours. It also says that when you purchase one of my products, you're purchasing it for you and your kids. You are not purchasing it for anybody else, which means that you cannot send it in an email to one of your teacher friends at another school, or you cannot print out extra copies and hand them to someone because they need to go and purchase it themselves. I even put that in free things because if you come into TPT and download something, you still should not be handing it to someone else or emailing it to someone else. They need to go to Teachers Pay Teachers and download it for free themselves. Why? Well, because it affects my downloads, it shows you know how many people are on my site, and it helps you out to have more people download things. It does not help you at all for people to send things to other people. So those are like my basic copyright terms of use things. Depending on your stuff, you might have other things. For example, I know a lot of teachers say things like, you cannot share this with other teachers, or you cannot print for the whole school. So that would be really relevant if, you know, you made like a second grade resource and you don't want one second grade teacher to print it for 5 second grade classes. I teach elementary music, so typically there's only one teacher per school, so that is not something that I am worried about, but I have seen that in a lot of other people's. Just make sure that you're very clear about what people can and cannot do, because if you do come across your product on Teachers Pay Teachers or on another site or on someone's website or posted somewhere, you want to be able to say, hey, I said you cannot do that. You need to take it down. All right, so I hope that kind of clears up a few of the copyright questions that I have been getting. I've seen a lot of them, which is why I decided to make this video. I have some other videos that are coming out soon all about TPT, because yes, I do hear you when you say, oh, I want a video about this. Oh, I want a video about this. There's only so many I can make at a time, so I kind of have to go prioritize. So I hear you. If you do have suggestions, leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week.